Sara. This is Parker, and I'm Emerson. We're going to be making food from England.
We're going to be making English tea, toad in a hole, scones, and Knickerbocker Glory Sundays. So let's get started. Let's go get our fresh eggs.
Yeah.
We're going to
Wash our hands because sanitary reasons. Hi! Today we're going to be showing you how to make toad in the hole. It's a traditional recipe from England. It includes like sausages and Yorkshire pudding, but right now we're prepping the Yorkshire pudding. So here we go. We have what Jackson has amazingly prepared for us.
Oh yes.
1 cup plus a tablespoon of flour with a hole in the center.
Oh, you.
I broke the hole. We got a hole in the center, and we're going to take eggs from our freshly local source, and we're going to put 4 eggs into the measuring cup.
Yep.
After you've gotten your eggs in a hole, you gently whisk it in the center until it becomes this soupy texture. So the whisk broke. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. So we don't have semi-skimmed half-fat milk, so we're just gonna use half and half and pray. I'm an atheist, but we're gonna pray. 1 cup and 1 tablespoon around that. And yeah, and you want to just dump it in your concoction. The whisk fell again.
The whisk has a grudge against us.
No, don't destroy the Alexa. The Alexa is nice.
Okay, the first step you're going to want to do when you're making scones are to preheat the oven to 450 degrees.
Then you're going to pour 2 cups of all-purpose flour into a bowl.
That's a lot of flour.
Then you're going to pour a 3rd cup of sugar in. And then you're going to pour a tablespoon of baking powder. We're going to put a whole tablespoon of baking powder in. Right. 1/2 tablespoon of salt. That's what we're saying. Salt. Oh my god. Sarah, that's so much.
There we go. Got some of it out.
Okay. And then you mix a 1/2 cup of cut up cold butter and you're going to whisk it.
Use this for 5 minutes.
Did you know that there was an English ruler named King Henry VIII who married a total of 6 wives and killed 2 of them?
Okay, and next we're going to add 2 cups of heavy whipping cream.
That's wrong.
No,
we're
sorry.
only adding a cup and 2 tablespoons, and it looks
Sorry.
like we're all out. So we're just gonna add a cup.
You didn't check to see how much was in the jar, Sarah?
Obviously not.
Next thing you're going to do for the scones is pour in 1/4 cup of chocolate chips.
Once you're done, you're going to want to take your dough onto wax paper and roll it into a long spaghetti noodle. Once you're done, cut that in half and take the 2 rounds and then put each round into 8 slices. Now what you're going to do when you have them into slices are you're going to take your little scone and sort of shape it into like what it looks like a circle, and then put it on a lightly greased pan. Once you're done, you're just going to take the back of a tablespoon, dip it in some like heavy cream, sort of like dab it off a little bit, and then just pat a little bit of the heavy whipping cream onto the scone. We ran out of heavy whipping cream, so we're just going to use half and half and pray.
Yeah. So a fun fact about Britain, or more of a historical fact really, is that they hosted the Great Exhibition of Industry for All Nations to showcase their power and progress during the Industrial Revolution.
Okay, next what you want to do is bake on 450 degrees for 11-12 minutes and just watch to make sure that they aren't burning or anything. What you want to do next is take your sausages. The recipe calls for 8 thick pork sausages, but we only have turkey and we have 2 of them, so here we are. Use any vegetable oil. We're using canola oil. And you just want to drizzle over it lightly and put it in the oven for around 15 minutes. And just drizzle it with like the oil and at 425 degrees. So we're going to be taking them out of the oven.
Gorgeous.
Amazing. They're so fluffy.
Next, for the Knickerbocker Sundae, we are going to be making a raspberry sauce. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a pan on about low-medium heat, we'll put 6 ounces of raspberries in, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and a half tablespoon of lemon juice. And you're going to stir for about 5 minutes until all the sugar is dissolved. And a fun fact, did you know that Margaret Thatcher was the first female Prime Minister of England? She was nicknamed the Iron Lady because of her uncompromising political and economic policies.
It down to like this liquid type form. You put it in the blender and you puree it, and then strain the seeds out, and then you have your sauce for your sundae. They're done. You just want to take them out of the oven and make sure that you have, like if it's glass, make sure you put it on wood so that you don't burn your kitchen down or destroy your marble counters. Be very careful with this since it is very, very, very hot. Don't touch the glass or the metal pan or whatever you're using. Now what you need to do is take 1/4 tablespoon of salt and pepper and just pour it in the batter and mix it in. And then once you're done, you want to stir it all up and then just dump it on top of the sausages and throw it in.
So now we are cutting the onions.
For the gravy, for the toad in a hole.
And what you want to do
That's
to
correct.
prep the gravy for the
The toad in the hole?
For the toad in the hole, yes, is you want to take 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 tablespoon of whatever oil that you used earlier. We used canola oil. And you want to put it in a pan. Once it's all melted like this, you add in the onions and you add in 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and you cook it in like 15-20 minutes and let it caramelize. So we just took it out of the oven. I don't think it's supposed to look like this, but I mean we've never made it before, so you live once, you only live once. It looks gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay. Parker? It's gonna
Oh, also, did you know that during World War II, during the Battle of Britain, the British created the radar, which helped them defeat the Germans?
So after we've cooked our onions for a bit, we added 2 cups of beef broth. And fun fact, did you know that after the Glorious Revolution in England, the English people created the English Bill of Rights, which limited the power of the monarchy and established more civil rights.
Once you've gotten it and you've added the beef stock, you have to stir it consistently until it turns into a thick gravy. Now that we have it at this like gravy type consistency, we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, however you pronounce that, and a little bit of salt and pepper.
And did you know that before Prince Charles started dating Diana, he was actually dating Diana's sister first?
The gravy is all cooked. We strained the onions out of it and put it in this little gravy boat.
Next, we will be making English tea. We will be pouring hot water into our teacups, which already have the English tea leaves in them. Now, did you know that Queen Elizabeth's father, George VI, actually had a stammer when he spoke, so he had to have a speech therapist for most of his life? Let's eat. Food.
Look at this beautiful masterpiece. We have English tea, toad in a hole, gravy, Ryan gravy, and chocolate chip scones. And then we're going to make the sundaes later after we watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
Let's eat.
I'm eating right now, and it's actually really, really good. Like the scones are like not dry and like concrete like I expected them to be. They're actually really soft.
Wow,
and I'm
thanks.
I'm very proud of you, Sarah, for giving us a recipe that works. And yeah, we have our toad in the hole too, which is actually really good, but the Yorkshire pudding is kind of like dry. It's okay. It's okay. It's our first time.
Yeah, it's our first
It's
time.
our first time.
We did
It's
good.
okay. We did pretty good.
Hey Parker, what are some facts?
Well, let's see. A fun fact about England. Did you know that Queen Elizabeth was never actually supposed to rule? Her uncle actually voluntarily abdicated the throne after the church condemned him for wanting to marry a divorcee. Fun facts.
What? That's so cool.
Also, another fun fact. The Romans eventually invaded England only for their oysters.
And the last thing, our dessert. For your Knickerbocker Glory Sundae, you can have an assortment of things. First, you're going to have, your raspberry puree. And then you're going to have something kind of like crunchy. So we did graham crackers. You could also do cookies if you want to. And then, of course, you've got your Cool Whip cream on top. And you can put fruit in it. We decided to do strawberries, but you can really do any fruit that you want to, any fruit that you like. Oh, yeah, and of course, the ice cream. And so how you make it is you layer everything. So you go ice cream, and then the graham crackers, and then the strawberries, and then the raspberry puree, and then you layer it all over again, and then you top it off with whipped cream. And that's how we make sundaes. So let's go. Here are our sundaes. That's so good. That concludes our cooking show. Thank you for watching.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.